The summer fair was alive with laughter, the air thick with the smell of popcorn, cotton candy, and freshly cut grass. Children ran past colorful tents, balloons bobbing in the warm breeze, while parents watched from picnic blankets spread across the open field. Amid the laughter and chatter, a sudden piercing scream shattered the air. Every head turned toward the sound. A small red-haired girl, her face twisted in terror, her voice echoing across the crowd. She stood frozen, her tiny fists clenched, eyes locked on a German shepherd wearing a bright red bandana. The dog's handler, a young man in a blue shirt, looked startled. For a moment, time seemed to stop. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of animal loyalty, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Pawsitive Tales. Every story here reminds us that love often comes from the most unexpected places. Her name was Lily. She was 6 years old, with curls like fire and a spirit that once matched them, bright, curious, unafraid. But that was before the accident. A year earlier, she'd been playing outside her home when a stray dog, frightened and starving, lunged at her. The attack left her with small scars on her arm, but the deeper wounds were the ones no one could see. Ever since that day, Lily had refused to go near any dog. Even the sound of barking made her flinch and hide behind her mother. Therapy helped a little, stories helped a little more, but nothing could erase the memory of those sharp teeth and the feeling of helplessness. Her laughter had dimmed, her world had grown smaller. Her mother, Claire, had brought her to the fair in hopes that she might rediscover a piece of her old self. She'd heard there would be a demonstration by the local K9 unit, a gentle, well-trained dog that worked with children. Maybe, just maybe, Lily could see that not all dogs were scary. But as soon as Lily saw the German shepherd, she froze, her body trembling. The memories rushed back, the growl, the pain, the panic, and before she could stop herself, she screamed. The crowd hushed. The dog, Archer, tilted his head, his tail lowering slightly as if he understood her fear. He didn't bark, didn't move forward. His handler, Officer Mason, gently placed a hand on Archer's back, whispering to him to stay calm. The tension in the air was heavy, fragile. Claire rushed to her daughter, trying to comfort her, but Lily's sobs came in waves, breaking the hearts of everyone who watched. And then, something extraordinary happened. Archer, still sitting obediently, slowly lowered himself to the ground, his head resting on his paws. His eyes never left Lily, but there was no aggression, only patience, calm, and something that felt like understanding. The crowd murmured, unsure of what they were seeing. Lily, through her tears, noticed the dog's stillness. He wasn't moving closer. He wasn't growling. He was just waiting. Officer Mason quietly said, "He's waiting for her to trust him." His voice was soft, but those around him heard. No one dared to speak. Even the children nearby seemed to sense the weight of the moment. Lily's sobs slowed to sniffles. Her tiny hand clutched her mother's dress, but her eyes stayed on Archer. The red bandana around his neck fluttered lightly in the breeze, and for some reason that small flash of color made him seem less threatening, almost gentle. Archer blinked slowly, then looked down, then up again as if to say, "It's okay, I'm here." Claire whispered to her daughter that the dog wouldn't hurt her, that he was a hero who had saved people. But Lily didn't respond. She just stared. Then in a small, trembling voice she asked, "Why isn't he barking?" Officer Mason smiled softly. "Because he knows you're scared," he said. "And he doesn't want to scare you more." Lily looked at him, then back at the dog. Her little fingers relaxed their grip on her mother's hand. Slowly, hesitantly, she took one step forward. The crowd seemed to hold its breath. Another step. Archer didn't move. His tail gave one small wag, and then, with tears still glistening on her cheeks, Lily whispered, "Hi." It was the smallest word, but in that instant, something broke free. Archer's ears perked up, and he gently wagged his tail again, looking at her with eyes that seemed to smile. Lily's trembling stopped. The handler nodded quietly and whispered something. Archer slowly lifted his head and crawled a few inches closer, stopping every time Lily stiffened. Step by step, inch by inch, fear met patience in a silent conversation only they could understand. When Archer was close enough for her to reach, he stopped and lowered his head again. Lily looked at her mother, then at the dog, her heart pounding. Slowly, she reached out her tiny hand. The moment her fingers brushed his fur, she gasped. Archer didn't move. He just stayed there, calm, warm, real. Lily's hand rested on his head, and for the first time in a year, she smiled. The crowd erupted in applause, soft at first, then louder, filled with relief and emotion. Claire covered her mouth, tears streaming down her cheeks. From that day forward, something changed in Lily. Her nightmares faded little by little. She began talking about dogs again, at first in whispers, then with excitement. A few weeks later, Claire took her to visit the Canine Unit's training center. Archer was there, tail wagging, as if waiting for his little friend. This time, Lily ran to him. She hugged him, burying her face in his fur, and whispered, "Thank you." Officer Mason explained that Archer had been a rescue himself, once abandoned and fearful before being trained as a service dog. Perhaps that was why he understood Lily so well. Both had known fear. Both had learned to trust again. As months passed, their bond deepened. Lily would bring him small treats, draw him pictures, even tell him stories about her day. The dog, always patient, always kind, became her anchor, the living proof that fear could be healed through love. When her school organized a show-and-tell event, Lily proudly stood before her classmates with Archer by her side. Her voice didn't tremble when she said, "I used to be scared of dogs. But then I met Archer, and he showed me not all dogs hurt you. Some just want to help you heal." The audience at that small event clapped, but none of them knew how much courage it took for that little girl to say those words. Her mother, standing in the back, wiped her eyes and whispered to herself, "She's back." Sometimes healing doesn't come through medicine or words. Sometimes it walks toward you on four legs with gentle eyes that say, "I understand." And sometimes that understanding is enough to rebuild a broken heart. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment and share it. And don't forget to subscribe to Pawsitive Tales for more true, emotional stories that celebrate the bond between humans and animals. Special request: in the comments, share your own story of how an animal changed your life. Your story might inspire someone who needs a little hope today.